Mike's Daily Podcast.
Hey. It's episode 2155, I think.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
That was my guess. Let's see what it is. If I am wrong, it doesn't matter, because this song has all kinds of great lyrics that I'm singing to you, and then I make a squeaking noise. Yes, I was right. It's true. It's episode 2155. The last show was called Bosch.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Like Bosch and Lom. Isn't that some kind of company that makes glasses that I'll never wear?
Mike's
Because they're so awful?
Daily
Yeah.
Podcast.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah!
But that's all right. I won't wear them. You won't be offended because of that. And if you get offended, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Oh, I don't have that. Snap.
Oh, snap.
I thought I might have that sound effect somewhere, but I don't. It's because that was the show. Oh, you know what? I just discovered something that I have sound effects for today's show. So we'll just leave it at that. There was an interesting thing that came across the Mike's Daily Podcast table, and that is that YouTube has restricted one of my old shows. Yes, the Mike's Daily Podcast 808 episode called Techno. Why in the world would it be banned as considered inappropriate for ages? That's a good question. We'll find out in a moment here and get to that. Oh, I know what it is. It's because I had a special guest on who is in the techno world. That's right, he made techno music. Anthony Vernon was his name. Perhaps the music in the background that I played from his album got me in trouble with YouTube. Oh, I've upset them.
And here's today's podcast picture.
The podcast picture is of an upset YouTube. So angry. But the thing is the last election, remember the Russians, they did all the stuff because they liked Trump. And Trump said things like, I can't see. Where is that thing?
There's a letter in your mailbox.
No, here it is.
President Putin was extremely strong and powerful.
Yes, so they wanted him to win, and so they did all that stuff on social media. And you were on social media all the time, weren't you? You never took a break like Basil the Boxer was on all the time. And he said, get off of social media and live your life. That's what he said. Words to live by. Thank you, Basil the Boxer. The late, great Basil the Boxer. So what ended up happening was all the social media platforms said, we got to be really careful. We got to watch out, because every little thing you do is magic, and Sting is going to influence the elections with his beautiful music and his beautiful voice. No, that's not what happened at all, but still, the podcast picture is from last evening. Also over there by the Oakland Bridge, taking a look at this brand new pier that they have. It's a pier that's actually made out of what used to be the Bay Bridge. Remember the Oakland side of the Bay Bridge? When you went from Oakland to Treasure Island, there was a bridge that had 2 levels. And during the big Loma Prieta earthquake, the top part of it, the top platform, collapsed onto the lower platform. And that's when they knew, oh my gosh, if that is from an earthquake that's not even like if the Hayward fault line, which is much closer, had an issue, then the whole bridge probably would have fallen down. So that's why they came upon putting the whole Oakland Bridge together, the brand new revamped version that you know today. That doesn't have 2 levels. It's just 1 level, but one going one direction, one going the other. But the old bridge, what used to be the old bridge, has been turned into a pier, And it had its grand opening about a month ago, and my lovely lady friend and I went there to check it out. My lovely lady friend was on the last podcast that you can hear anywhere you listen to Mike's Daily Podcast. But yes, so you'll see a picture from that wonderful spot we went to at mikesdailypodcast.com. Okay, now let's very quickly try and find out exactly what it was that was so offensive to YouTube. And I have no problem with them taking down whatever I have or telling me this or that. You know, it's their platform. I gotta adhere to their guidelines. I'm not feeling censored. Anyone that says I'm censored by YouTube or Twitter or Facebook, it's silly. Go find a platform that won't censor you then. Start your own platform. You know, it's a brave new world. You can do that sort of thing.
Just did. And people are starting to finally go, oh, that's what that is. Oh, how neat.
Wow, that is 5 years ago, that podcast. What happened to my voice? It was so young and innocent back then.
And that's when you have become so popular, that's sort of the bill that you have to pay, is to hear that you're ugly.
What? The bill that you have to pay is to hear that you're ugly when you're popular. Okay. Anything else, Mike, that's deep? That's apparently not age appropriate.
We are going to also hear from the wonderful Shelley Shuhart, Floyd the Foreman, and John Deere the Engineer.
Ah, they were back on the old show as well.
Listen to his show and read it.
That's interesting. And this episode was
on. It got a big viral sensation because it's so funny to watch pop stars like Katy Perry and Britney Spears saying what people are saying about them. And
okay, enough of that. All right. It looks like this episode was only 2.5 minutes long. That's impossible. But I think at that point, YouTube was doing this thing where they would chop up whatever you uploaded. If it was long, like a half hour, they'd chop it up into little bitty pieces that people could easily digest. Or that was less than certain. As we go outside a cafe anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley, Mont, the last place on earth. I got this little email from Oola. That's O-O-L-A. Isn't there a type of noodle? No, that's an oolong, I think. But it has this really funny graphic on it of a woman shooting the rapids, but instead of it being rapids, it's gravy on top of mashed potatoes. And a big sign that says, "This is me thinking about Thanksgiving." This email says, "It's almost turkey time, so this is your nudge to begin meal planning for Thanksgiving." You know what I don't want to do? I was talking to Nate today, who's been on the podcast, and he's got his own Niners Nation podcast that you can catch. Do a search and you'll find it and you can listen to it. I think he's going to be posting a new one tomorrow afternoon. He and I were discussing it. I said I don't want to make a turkey. I'm very tempted to go buy one. There's like 59 cents a pound turkeys at Rayleigh's right now. Not to give them a plug, I'm going to give them a slug. It's still $10 that I don't want to deal with of cooking a turkey. And you know what? I'm really trying to steer away from meat. Not so much. And what that magic turkey meat puts you to sleep too. But it's not the turkey that's, I mean, the turkey is not that healthy for you, but it's all the other stuff that makes it even more unhealthy. The rolls, the mashed potatoes, all the carbs, and then the sweet stuff. Mac and cheese. What is exactly healthy about a turkey dinner? I cannot. Corn, that's kind of a starch. Green beans, yeah, but then you melt cheese on it and put butter on it and ugh. In case you've been living under a rock, you might have heard we are set to have the first female vice president in history. This email says, only took us almost 250 years, but who's counting? To celebrate, watch a movie that vibes with your inner boss babe. Chick Fight is our top pick of what to watch this weekend, and it drops on Friday. Chick Fight? Okay, that's Oola. That's it. All right. Ula has affiliate and advertising partnership. Oh, they're asking for advertising. Whatever. Then, one other interesting... See, I'm talking about social media stuff on this show and how it affects us in this world. I think that's what this podcast is about. That and crazy sound effects.
Why?
No.
I think I'm getting the black lung pop.
Those had nothing to do with each other, except maybe, can you watch Zoolander on Netflix? That's what that was, a Netflix sounder. Finally, there's this thing, so Google is taking away the photos, or they're going to make it less that you can right now upload all these photos. There's an infinite amount that you can upload to the Photos, Google Photos thing. But soon, well, in June of next year, apparently that's going away and you'll have to start paying for storage space. But they do this thing with me, and I probably clicked yes to something, and this is why this happens, but it's the Google Maps timeline. It says you're receiving this monthly email because you turned on location history. That's where I went wrong. Location history data also helps give you personalized information on Google, including better restaurant recommendations and suggestions for a faster commute. And I can view or edit it anytime in timeline. Well, apparently in October, I visited 25 places. Only 25 places, that's it? That's called Mike in the coronavirus. Not going that far. One of the places was Pescadero. I posted podcast pictures from that. Pleasanton, Hayward. The Ward Creek Trail Head, which is in Berkeley. I apparently also went to Cafe Tapioca. Oh, yeah, that's in Dublin. That was okay. There, I gave him a plug and a slug. So, I guess that kind of gives you a little bit, sizes you up. Gives you a little bit of perspective on your own life to see, where have I been? Where am I going? Wherever you go, there you are. If you don't pay attention to where you are, does it matter that you're there? Alright, that's all I got for today's show. Next show, it's going to be Not These People. Hi, Mac! It's Benita the Rodeo Queen! How y'all doing?
Yep. It's a Disgruntled Fiddle Player tell you what.
What?
Why don't y'all go ahead and tell us exactly how all the fake news and the fraudulent votes made Biden president now?
Yeah, okay. It did.
Sorry.
I mean, he is president. I don't agree with everything else you just said, but...
Yeah, okay, well, Trump is still president. And it's because he is awesome. And because he's strong and
President Putin was extremely strong and powerful.
He's strong and powerful, like Putin.
Okay, well, look who else is here.
Hello, Mike, I make the delicious root beer. Have some right now.
Yes. But that last podcast I did with lovely lady friend, thank you for the root beer.
Drink it now, I'll cut you.
You don't scare me. We talked about how evidence and facts are gone. Not that they really were around much during this presidency, but wow, what a way to go. He just basically torpedoed all facts, news, anything that disagreed with him. And that's where we get into the whole dictatorship stuff, because that's what dictators do. They control the media and whatever they want, and it's why they're strong and powerful and that kind of thing.
President Putin was extremely strong and powerful.
Oh, my.
He sure likes that guy. Okay, well, at any rate, democracy will win out. You and I will be fine, I'm hoping. They just came out with another vaccine today, apparently. So that's good news. We'll end on a good news point there. And next show, it'll be the wonderful Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. Thank you for listening to FF episode 2155. If you would like to chime in, you can call me at 336MM Daily. 3 + 3 = 6. MM as in Mike Matthews Daily, as in what this podcast has been now for quite a few days. Good for us.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!